KVRX Austin, HD2. This is Bazar Sports Radio. Will Bazarski, Matt Hand, and Zach Dolan's back for another week of sports.
Woo! You know it.
Jersey Day here at Bazar Sports.
Jersey
we got
Day.
World Series champs on the right or the back side of the table with me and the Astros and Zach wearing his Cubs. And then Matt is wearing LA Kings.
Stanley Cup champions.
Stanley
2012,
Cup
2014.
There we go. So we got a lot of champions in the room. Maybe not personally, but you know. And we'll talk about someone who's had a champion of a career. Ichiro Suzuki signs a 1-year deal to return to the Mariners. He's 44 years old. Here's where I'm thinking. He's going to be a grandfather by the time he retires. How long will he play?
I mean, he's definitely near the end of his career.
Is he?
It's probably going to be his last season, in my opinion. I think the reason he's going back to the Mariners, this is the team where he made a name for himself. Played phenomenal for the Mariners, so I think he's just trying to do like a little goodbye tour.
I think it's the same way. I can't see a 44-year-old baseball player doing well.
But I mean, with the way Ichiro plays, it's just contact and run. I mean, this is not much. It's not much he has to do.
He's
and he's
44,
very good
though.
at it. I know, but
He hit 255 last year.
He's arguably the best contact hitter. of
Oh,
all time.
absolutely.
You know, they're predicting him to hit 246 this year, 4 homers, 3 triples, and 10 doubles. So not bad for him being, 44 years of age. They're expecting 344 plate appearances. So not the top of the game, but, he's still getting at bats.
Yeah, definitely going to go one more time every stadium, say goodbye. So I think that's great. Speaking of goodbye tours and signing with teams, Matt Forte, as we talked about last week, announced that he'll be retiring after many great NFL seasons with the Bears and the Jets. He just signed a one-day contract with the Chicago Bears to end his career where he started it and made a name for himself in Chicago.
I'd like to shout out Matt Forte for helping me win my 2012 fantasy football championship. My first of my many.
Then I'll be nice to you, and I'll shout out Todd Gurley for helping me win this year's fantasy football championship. 71 points on the final day.
Wow, look at that.
That is crazy.
But
And we're talking about football. We are. Kirk Cousins, he's deciding between the Vikings and the Jets. Thoughts? Are those the right teams or are they the wrong teams?
I mean, I think that he's a better fit in. Well, I don't want to say he's a better fit one place or the other, but I think that the Jets need him a lot more than the Vikings do. Obviously, the Vikings just had 3 great QBs this past season, although they aren't going to be the same next year, and they're still deciding whether or not they're going to keep Case Keenum. I think the Jets, that we know they have a lot of cap space, I think they should definitely be going after Kirk Cousins a lot stronger, and I think they will compared to the Vikings.
I still think he belongs in Denver. They've solidified their defense over there. They have good wide receivers, a decent offensive line. I think bringing him to Denver, especially with that altitude, will help his strong arm. Matt, what do you think?
I mean, I think you should go to the Jets, kind of with what Zach was saying. I mean, Vikings, obviously, he'll be great. If he goes to the Vikings, he'll be great. They're a phenomenal team right now. Jets definitely need him more. Easily. There's no way he. In my opinion, I can't see him in a Broncos uniform. I think the Broncos should look for younger quarterbacks, look to draft this year, see if they can start building up some young talent.
And we're going to talk about young talent here and draft picks. The LA Rams have traded Alec Ogletree in a 2019 7th-round pick to the New York Giants for 2 2018 draft picks, a 4th and a 6th-round draft pick. It's not official until March 14th, which is when the 2018 season officially begins. Ogletree is 26 years of age, 95 tackles, 2 sacks, and an interception, a forced fumble last season in 15 games played.
And he's a defensive captain.
Exactly. With 2 of the 3 Giants starting linebackers set to become free agents, this was a good move. What do y'all think?
It's a good move for both teams. The Rams have so much. They have too much cap, too much salary right now with all their players. They're dumping salaries left and right now. They're trying to rebuild their line, their defensive line. Basically their entire defense right now, just because they have so much money there that they literally just can't afford it. Because you've got guys like Aaron Donald who you need to keep, but that's going to be so much money. You can't afford to have a guy like Ogletree and Aaron Donald with all these new contracts coming in. They've been performing so well. They're going to have they're going to demand too much money, so they got to get rid of them. So I kind of like what they're doing. They're getting some picks. They're going to build up some young talent. We already got like pieces like Marcus Peters and.
Right.
I like what we're doing. I'm not worried about it. I hate to see him go, specifically because I have his jersey. and I need to get a new one now because I can't wear old player jerseys. But besides that, though, it's a good move for both teams.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think he fills a spot right in the middle of the Giants' defense, which they had a hole last year, and I think the Giants are actually going to be pretty good next year. Obviously, we saw they had injuries this past year that just derailed their entire season. But
And Ben McAdoo is their head coach.
right, and McAdoo is the head coach, so obviously looking new head coach. Beckham's going to be back. Hopefully, Eli Manning. Eli Manning didn't even play that terrible last season. Nor who knows? We'll see Geno Smith at quarterback.
Maybe.
I think it's just a very good for both teams, like you said. Salary dump for the Rams, which getting 3 draft picks for it, I mean, that's always good.
Yeah.
And then you have this being released today, a mock draft. The Giants taking Saquon Barkley out of Penn State. Is that the right move for them? Or should they be drafting a quarterback?
I love Saquon Barkley. I went to the Rose Bowl in 2017, 2016, USC Penn State, and he was dominant. He looked so good. He has this presence to him on the field that you just think, oh my God, like this guy is incredible. I mean, if they go for him, it's great. He's a great pick. He'll do great on any team. I think so.
Yeah, and I think especially on the Browns, I think that he's a good fit for the Browns. I think he would thrive in that system, and especially if the Browns could just sign a quarterback. There's a lot of free agent quarterbacks, as we've talked about before. So if they're able to sign one big quarterback, I think that they don't need to necessarily draft a quarterback because Saquon Barkley, I think, is a once-in-a-lifetime running back to come into the draft.
And, this 2018 draft has some good quarterbacks, but I wouldn't call it a Andrew Luck style an Andrew Luck quarterback, maybe with Josh Allen or Sam Darnold, but I don't see them becoming an Andrew Luck.
Well, you mean like the early Andrew Luck before the injury Andrew Luck?
I still think he's good. He just doesn't have an offensive line to protect him.
That's true.
That's true. They, I mean, the Colts never looked good. Their offensive line. I think if Luck did have an offensive line, he would look amazing. Same thing happened with Jared Goff this year. Same thing happened with Nick Foles. Same thing happened with
Sean McVay is doing an incredible thing. He's down in
that's true. But even then, like there's any quarterback, you put a good offensive line, they're going to perform really well. I think if you got Andrew Luck like that behind the line, he'll be great. You got guys like Sam Darnold. I think if you give guys, I'm going to say this. If you give guys like Sam Darnold a great offensive line, he is a great pocket quarterback. He is great with pressure.
He can scramble too.
He can scramble, yeah. He knows what he's doing. I think Sam Darnold looks like Andrew Luck. He's got the Andrew Luck kind of mojo, or the little Andrew Luck swag in him. At least that's what I see from him.
Okay, yeah. And we'll move on with that. We're going to stay on that West Coast, which is going to bring us back to Louisiana. Jimmy Graham is in talks to move back from Seattle to New Orleans. Graham is they have a tight end of Kobe Fleener. He's 29 years of age. They have him through 2020. Is this the right move for New Orleans to go after Jimmy Graham?
I think so. We looked at the Saints this past year. They looked great this past year, making it as far in the playoffs as they did. And you see that was based off of a defense that was a lot better this past year than it was in years before. Because in the past 5 years, you see Saints defense, you always think bottom half of the league, even bottom 10 in the league. That looked a lot better this year. And I think that addition like Jimmy Graham, who was so important for them early on, would be huge for their offense.
And not even that, you have the Saints ranked last in the NFL in tight end receiving yardage of 476, 31st in tight end receptions of 45. It'd be a huge addition.
And the reason that they were able to be successful anyways, because we saw the outburst of rookie running back Alvin Kamara, who also acted as a very good receiving running back, and they still have Mark Ingram, so there was a very good 1-2 punch there. So I think adding this extra versatility in their offense, it makes defenses think a little more when trying to defend New Orleans. I don't see anything wrong with it.
And we can talk about how he's 31 years of age, but when you have that combination of Breeze and Graham, that's a dynamic duo. Yeah. Age doesn't really come into factor. I mean, he is injury prone, but when they combine with one another, it's quite amazing to watch.
Yeah, I mean, the Jimmy Graham, Drew Brees, that's like a classic 1-2 punch. You're always afraid going up against those two. I mean, if he goes back to the Saints, I'd be really excited. I loved Jimmy Graham when he was on the Saints. Really fun to watch. Also, again, great fantasy tight end. But yeah.
Speaking of players leaving Seattle, I just wanted to bring up Russell Wilson practicing for the New York Yankees. Did either of you see that this past week?
Yeah, you see,
yeah. So that was really cool. He says that the only reason he'd ever go back to baseball after deciding he'd officially play in the NFL was if he got a chance to play for the Yankees, which is exactly what happened. And I saw comments from Aaron Boone, who's the new New York Yankees head coach. He said that it wasn't just amazing to have Wilson there, but what he brings to the team off the field, his mentality, his work ethic. He said that really rubbed off on a lot of the younger players. Aaron Judge, Gary Sanchez, Giancarlo Stanton. It's just amazing having Wilson there and able to learn and play with these guys. I thought it was really cool.
And with that, could we have a Subway series featuring Tim Tebow and Russell Westbrook?
Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson. We had Russell Westbrook.
Russell Wilson is literally living Tim Tebow's dream. Like, this is all Tim Tebow wanted. He just wanted a chance, and Russell Wilson is already playing at a higher level than Tebow. And I saw Didi Gregorius, who's the second baseman, I believe, for the New York Yankees. He said that looking at Russell Wilson in practice, he's like, I think that this guy would actually have a legit chance of playing on the field. Like, he hasn't played baseball in like a year and a half, he said, and he was fielding ground balls like he does it every day.
Well, I mean, you hear stuff about Tim Tebow, though. He's been working his way up.
Oh, he's been working. Russell Wilson didn't need any work, and he's already playing as well as he
He's also playing in the NFL, making millions of dollars.
And he's also a lot better of a quarterback than Tim Tebow.
That is also true. All right, so Jerry Jones reimburses NFL's more than $2 million in legal fees because of the Ezekiel Elliott fight of a 6-game suspension. Jerry Jones is not like Roger Goodell. You can just end it there.
They just have a feud that's been going on for a couple of years now, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Jerry Jones wants all the power. He's already one of the most powerful men in the NFL. He wants to be the head honcho.
Exactly.
He needs I mean, you're this high up in power. Why not try to keep going? You want to push your way through. You want to get more power of the commissioner. Why not?
Exactly.
I mean, I'm about it. I hate Roger Goodell, so
and
good for Jerry Jones.
One more thing before we move on. Back with players leaving Seattle again. Richard Sherman, he apparently was going and telling all of his teammates goodbye earlier today, saying that he's leaving the team. There's really not much behind this story right now, other than there's this Bleacher Report article that I just read saying that Richard Sherman has been going around telling his teammates that he will no longer be with the team.
Wow.
Which is interesting. I don't know if he knows something they don't, if he plans on signing with another team, but Richard Sherman will not be in Seattle next year.
Well, that's some interesting news, but
how about the Houston Rockets?
What a segue.
We'll go straight into that. 16-game win streak they play at Milwaukee.
They're not even good.
How long will this continue? And are they a competitor for Golden State?
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. I mean, we saw...
will they beat Golden State? Or can they beat Golden State?
I think so. I mean, there's that stat with James Harden, Clint Capella, and Chris Paul, 33-1 when they're all playing together. Put them together on the court, they could easily win an NBA championship.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question about it. I hate to see the Warriors win. I hate seeing Warriors Cavs every year. So I would hope that a team like the Rockets would come and overthrow them in the West. So we'll see.
And speaking of more NBA stuff, we're going to Oklahoma City. Is Westbrook, this is Russell Westbrook, not Russell Wilson. Russell Westbrook and Paul George, that combination, is that a bust?
I wouldn't call it a bust just yet. It's still early on. They're 7th in the West right now, so they're looking at a playoff spot. But I mean, they're not as good as everyone thought they would be. Everyone's like, they're going to be the best team in the West. Like, they got Melo, they got Paul George, they got Westbrook. It's a lethal combo. But then you also look Westbrook playing with Durant and Harden, who are definitely better than both of those two players, and they still couldn't even win a championship. So it was kind of asking a lot to have them go up against teams like the Rockets, the Spurs, the Warriors, and expect them to beat them. So I wouldn't call them a bust, even though they're not living up to the expectations some people had. I think they're playing as well as they can be. I think Russell Westbrook works better on his own, so this is just a product of him playing with other superstars.
And you just answered my next question. Is Russell Westbrook better as the sole macho?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. And I think that helps the team better. That helps the team more when you have a guy like him that's able to take over.
Right, because you have Victor Oladipo go off and become an all-star. James Harden left and is now running a franchise. And you have Kevin Durant leaving, going to Golden State and winning championships. So is it Russell Westbrook? He plays better by himself.
I think that's just a Russell Westbrook thing, though. And I think that's not the best quality to have in a player. You look at guys like LeBron, and no matter who he plays with all-stars, he plays with no one else on his team that you've even heard of. And he will make that team go far in the playoffs. That's just what he does. He can work with anyone. He's a great leader. He just knows exactly what's going on the court at all times. It doesn't really matter who else is on his team, and that's what makes him so special. Versus Russell Westbrook, who, although he's a freak athlete and a good basketball player, you need to have the ability to work better with others.
Yeah.
Yeah, no question. And somebody who is coming back for a second game of the career, University of Missouri's Michael Porter Jr. is returning for Thursday's game. He's played one game, which was 2 minutes, had 2 points. What kind of impact will he have for the Missouri Tigers in the SEC tournament?
Well, here, if my math is correct, 2 minutes and 2 points. I mean, he's going to put up 40 points by just on that average.
Yeah.
So, hey, 40 points. Missouri's going to take the dub easily.
Yeah, well, you look at coming into this basketball season, there was a lot of hype around Michael Porter Jr. He was the number 2 recruit coming out of high school. Everyone said he's definitely going to be a lottery pick in the draft. Went down in the very first game with an injury that has sidelined him until now. Missouri looking at a spot in March Madness. I think Michael Porter Jr. is going to go off. I think that Missouri has a chance to go far in March Madness now because I think he's the real deal, and I can't wait to watch him.
Yeah,
And
no.
you know what reminds me of March Madness?
What?
Matt's 5 facts. Let's hit it.
All right, so we're going to go starting from number 5, work our way up to number 1. We're changing it up a little bit. So fact number 5, Shaquille O'Neal has played 19 years in the NBA and has never ended the season with a team that had a losing record.
Amazing.
So
And he's played with so many different teams.
Oh my God, it's
So
insane. Number 4, 4 days ago, Lonzo Ball hit 2 go-ahead threes in the final 2 minutes of the fourth quarter against the San Antonio Spurs. He is the first player to do this on the Lake. He's the first Laker to do this since Kobe, who has accomplished this only once in his entire career, including the playoffs.
Don't put his name with
Lonzo's
Kobe.
the GOAT.
Don't put his name with Kobe.
Number 3, Cristiano Ronaldo has just become the fastest player to score 300 career La Liga goals.
I'm next.
And that came against a huge win too.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
And then number 2, LeBron James has won 43 of the Eastern Conference Player of the Month award since joining the league. And number 5, another LeBron stat. LeBron is the oldest player in basketball history to average a triple-double in a calendar month.
amazing. And this was the first time that he's ever done it in a calendar month in his career,
Yeah.
which is even more impressive.
And, Matt's 5 facts brings me to think, what happened today?
That's what I thought of. That's what I was just thinking of. That's crazy.
Want to know what happened today?
Yeah, what happened on March 7th, 1857? Well,
Baseball finally decided that 9 innings constitutes an official game, not 9 runs.
well,
Who would have
interesting.
thought?
Yeah, so it used to be first team to 9 runs just automatically won.
Jeez,
I think 9 innings makes a little more sense.
Imagine if you had a team who couldn't hit. Game would never get over.
Imagine if there is it's just another team had good defense.
And imagine in 1930 if Georgetown High of Chicago defeated Homer 1-0 in basketball.
Amazing. Just
That
to think
happened. You don't have to imagine.
that.
And, we mentioned college basketball, March Madness. In 1982, that was the first time they televised the selection show live.
Oh, speaking of televising the selection show, for the first time ever this year, instead of going through each conference and saying who's the 1 through 16 and just the North, South, whatever, they're going to announce all the teams so there is no more suspense like there used to be in every single year up until this year. They're going to just be releasing the names. So if your Texas is going to be in the South, we don't even know where they're going to be, but we don't have to wait for them to be in the last bracket and clench our fists hoping that they're going to be in it.
And Matt, you can read this one because we know you love Wayne Gretzky.
I do love Wayne Gretzky. In 1986, Wayne Gretzky breaks his own NHL season record with his 136 assists.
Yeah, what a guy.
What do you got?
GOAT.
Zach, you
Goat.
got it?
Speaking of goat, well,
Speaking-
not
maybe.
goat, not goat,
Maybe.
not
A
goat.
year later, 1987, Mike Tyson beats Bone Crusher Smith and for the heavyweight boxing title. That's pretty cool.
That's cool. In 1996, Magic Johnson is second NBA player to reach 10,000 career assists.
You seemed really excited about Mike Tyson.
I was more than Magic Johnson.
Oh, Magic Johnson is it's better.
And we know that you love soccer.
I do love soccer. I love all the sports that no one else
Like,
likes.
give it to me.
In 2009, despite being only 17 years old, Brazilian soccer star Neymar made his professional debut for Real
Hey, I've
Madrid.
heard of that guy.
He's
I'm
pretty
19.
good.
19. What am I doing with my
Yeah,
life?
for real. Well, Chris Pulisic is only He's 18 right now.
19.
19.
He's 19.
Ooh.
No, sorry, he was 18.
Not following
Yeah,
you.
I believe he was 18 when he played his first game for.
That
the United
He
States.
was 17.
He was 17.
So he's even cooler than him.
Yeah.
Wow.
was signed when he was 14 to Borussia Dortmund.
People were just
Or
finishing
16,
up their.
excuse me, not 14.
Everyone was finishing up their AP testing, and he was.
Yeah.
He was moving to Germany to play professional soccer.
Right.
Excuse me, professional football.
And we mentioned the Broncos, so why don't we bring it back to them? 2016, Peyton Manning announced his retirement from the Denver Broncos and the NFL. Papa John.
The end of an era. The end of a football era when Peyton Manning retired.
And beginning of a new era, hopefully a new era. Texas Longhorn basketball, huge win over West Virginia.
Let's go.
Tell me about it. I was playing golf.
Oh my God, it was an amazing game. I was there. I saw Matt a couple rows down. I don't know if you saw me.
I did not see
That's
you.
all right, though. It was an amazing game.
So Zach was in the nosebleeds, I guess.
One of the greatest games I've ever been to of basketball ever. I was just so happy watching every second of that game.
Yeah, that was an extremely. That game was just constantly back and forth and back and forth. And you know what I have to say? I think this is why we won. We did not have a double-digit lead the entire game.
We
We
couldn't
cannot
We had
blow
no
a game
lead
if
to
we
blow.
don't have a double-digit lead.
See, I was
Therefore, that's how you win. Just don't have a double-digit lead ever, and we can't blow it.
I was playing golf, and in this group chat we have, I was getting text messages. Matt was texting. We had a couple other guys texting in it. There was "Let's go" or "What's going on." I was so confused. Not even Finally, in the last
But that's
few minutes,
exactly how the game was going. I mean, it was
Yeah.
back and forth. We had big leads. West Virginia cut
Yeah.
it to 3 points, and we got back a little bit.
Then we go up 2 with about 5 seconds left, and we call a timeout when West Virginia has nothing, gives them
Exactly.
enough time to drive down.
And then giving Javon Carter a time to just run past all of us.
it's
Yeah.
almost like Shaka's great, and then Shaka sucks. And like, what's going on?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody knows.
I cannot believe how many times I saw Fire Shaka and I love you, Shaka, you're the best.
Oh,
And
yeah, I
Fire
know.
Shaka, it's back and forth and back and forth. That's how you know it's a great game, though.
Yeah.
Or just
I mean,
indecisive things.
well, great. It's frustrating.
No, it was a great game.
It was
to
a great
watch.
game.
You love games that are exciting. If it's a blowout either way, it's just not as fun to be in.
Especially a team that we got blown out to at their
Oh,
place
yeah, we lost
earlier in
by
the year.
30.
That was one of the game. That was really the only game that we truly struggled. We played well against Kansas both times. West Virginia has been the opponent that we've been looking
That was our
towards
biggest loss.
to.
Mhm.
So big rebound by them, and without Mo Bamba, huge,
Oh, and without Eric Davis.
without
Eric
Davis.
Two of our better players.
100%. And
Amazing.
Texas opening the Big 12 tournament tonight,
Fuck.
8 o'clock against Iowa State. Winner plays Texas Tech. Winner of that plays West Virginia or Baylor. Is it safe to say that Texas has an easier run to the Big 12 championship game?
I think so for sure, because I think that playing Iowa State, they're the last ranked team in the Big 12 who we've beaten already twice this season, so they're not very good.
No.
And I think that it should be easy to win tonight. And when we do win tonight,
Mm-hmm.
knock on wood, I think that automatically gives us a spot in the tournament, which is phenomenal, what we've wanted to see all along. Then we play Texas Tech, we've already beaten this year. I think, in my opinion, the most overrated team in the Big 12.
Absolutely.
And then we've already beaten West Virginia, so we could see them in the next round. I think that is the easiest route, yeah.
And without you, I'm gonna let Zach
You're
read
gonna
this
let
one.
us,
Well, I'll let you.
Kansas Azubuike, he is the big man for Kansas. He's been very good this season, yeah. Udoka Azubuike.
Sprained his MCL, so he will not be playing in the NCAA or in the Big 12 tournament. They're going to save him for the NCAA tournament.
And he caused trouble for Mo.
Yeah.
Play him, so that's going to be good for us.
Hopefully, Mo will be back tonight. I don't know if y'all have heard if they
I
released
haven't
him.
heard much about that, no.
I mean, at this point, I don't think we should have. I mean, he was
I think we're better without
day to day. He was like a game time decision when we were playing West Virginia. He definitely could come back and play.
True.
But we're playing Iowa State. We took down
Don't
West
risk it.
Virginia without him and Eric Davis. Don't risk it.
Don't risk
Save
it,
it for the
yeah.
tournament. I think
I
we're in the
agree.
tournament now.
What seed in the tournament? What are you? 12.
12.
So no
12.
playing game.
No, I don't think we'll be a playing game.
No.
Not anymore.
That I agree. If we would have lost West Virginia, our best hope was a playing game.
Exactly,
Yeah.
which we would have had to win in the Big 12 tournament, too.
Phil said he was very excited to get back for that.
Going dancing.
Yeah. Oh, did y'all hear about Memphis? They might fire Tubby Smith and bring
I
in
heard about
Penny
this.
Hardaway. What are your thoughts? And guess who Penny Hardaway wants to bring as his assistant coach?
Who?
Larry Brown, SMU former head coach. How about that? Interesting combination. You got a guy who's coaching the college basketball ranks.
Yeah.
Someone who hasn't. You got
Well, and Penny Hardaway, we know, is one of the greatest point guards.
probably
in
be a good
the
recruiter
past 20
too.
years. I mean, Penny
Yeah.
Hardaway, definitely a good recruiter. Played great for Orlando when he was with Shaq, so it'd be pretty cool to
Yeah.
see him coach.
And Steve Kerr He was asked, what do you think of the NBA and undrafted players? And he said that he hopes the NCAA will start ruling that undrafted players can go back to college, continue their career. What's your thought?
I like that. I mean,
I agree completely.
And there's 2 rounds in the NBA draft.
Yeah.
You've got
Yeah.
there's so many players that try to go, they try to live their dreams out. They go, they can't, and they're done.
Just like I did.
And now you're not allowed back on the team.
That's such a shame.
That's a shame.
But no, I like
Lithuania. That's where I went.
Yeah.
Ball brothers.
Yeah.
And I actually
Big Bazarski brand.
if
Exactly.
if players knew they would be welcome back on the team if they declared for the draft and didn't get drafted, that's gonna encourage a lot more players to go for the draft, which is what all these kids' dreams are anyway. That's why they're playing basketball. They all want to dream one day playing in the NBA. So if they have the opportunity to declare for the draft without consequence, that's just great for them. They have more time to prove themselves and combines, whatever they need to do.
It's almost like the college MLB draft, how you don't have to sign if you get drafted. In this case, they have so many more rounds.
Yeah.
But I think that would be good for the college game. They can perfect their game. They know. You almost know what you have to do next time to get drafted again.
Yeah.
And perfect your game instead of going over a season trying to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, and every year that passes, players can't. It's harder for players to get drafted. Look at seniors, like some of the best seniors in college basketball right now. They're probably not going to get drafted because NBA teams they don't want to draft seniors because they've already lost 3 years of development where they could develop them in the NBA. They're 3 years older, which in my opinion shouldn't be a big deal because I think the best basketball players should be drafted. But if they're taking a freshman who's good over a senior who should be a little better but has less time to develop, I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like how it works.
No, I agree. We do have some news. I forgot to mention earlier. The Tampa Bay Rays, Jose De Leon, he was one of the Dodgers' best pitching prospects and easily Tampa Bay's one of their best pitching prospects, is undergoing Tommy John surgery, which is horrible news. They traded away Logan Forsythe to the Dodgers for someone who was supposed to be so great for them and supposed to, he was supposed to be an ace. Like he was really. I was upset when we traded him.
Not anymore.
I mean, I guess not anymore. But no, it's crazy how you see this like immediately. Like there's Tampa Bay just going way down now.
Yeah. They're still not even the worst team in Florida though.
Oh,
you
no.
look at the Marlins.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They fired their mascot.
They fired their mascot after losing everything. They
I
don't
know.
fire their mascot. It's like that's when you know they
Kick them all the way down.
And
real.
Broncos and 49ers have discussed a keep-to-leave trade,
Oh,
but veteran cornerback prefers to be released and Patriots are top destination. Wow.
oh look, the Patriots are going to be good
Patriots are
again.
just getting
Let's,
better. What's new?
What? And it continues. It's a circle.
And if anyone out there is curious, spring training is happening right now. The Cubs beat the Dodgers last night. Darvish making his debut for the Cubs against his former team. Played 2 innings, 4 strikeouts. You'd love to see that.
How about Kyle Tucker?
Hold on, I want to get Matt. Matt has something to say.
Oh, let's go. Let's see what
I don't recognize you, Darvish, as a Dodger ever. Based off
He
of
had a good year.
He had a good year.
Based off his Game 7 performance, I refuse to acknowledge that you, Darvish, ever played for the Dodgers.
He had a good season. He
had a great season. He had a great season. He had a terrible World Series.
We'll take it. Go Houston.
He had a horrible World Series. I talked to Zach about this outside the booth, but we discussed it. No, I think you, Darvish, is going to be great in Chicago. He's easily going to be their ace. As much as I hate to see
I don't even know if he will be. John Lester is our opening day starter. You still got Jose Quintana in the number 2 spot, I believe. I think the Cubs are looking good.
Before we end this show, World Series pick, who's it going to be?
Dodgers.
Cubs.
And who else? Who are they going to play?
Dodgers, Yankees.
Cubs, Yankees.
Yeah,
Astros, Yankees. No, that can't happen.
oh, man.
Astros, Dog Cubs.
The Cubs?
Not Cubs. Astros, Cubs.
The Cubs, thank you.
The Cubs.
I'll say Yankees. I'll agree with you on that one.
All right, but Cubs.
Well, it's been a good show
Yankees.
here. Keep arguing.
Dodgers.
It's the Astros, Dodgers. It's the Yankees also. And, of course, the Cubs.
We'll see.
Check out BazarSportsRadio.com, Facebook, Instagram, and even our Twitter. We'll see you next week.
deal. Come on, hook 'em horns, I know you will. And I've seen Vince Young run for the roses, watch Ricky